What's up, YouTube? This is Boston Chris. Welcome to my channel, Boston Chris Comics. So, in this video, I'm just going to show off a couple books that I picked up from last week, from basically from New Comic Book Day last week, as well as a bunch of stuff I got in the mail. I had a few things come in. One also an act of kindness from Mr. Unknown Comics Guy. We'll get into that a little bit after these books, because I want to go ahead and give him a proper shout out and just talk about some of these books that came into the mail that I had gotten from him and others. So first, we're going to start off with what I feel is one of the stronger Marvel titles that's out there right now. I've said it numerous times whenever I pick up an issue of this, but really, really good, and that is Thanos. This is issue number 15, continuing on the basically King Thanos storyline. Really cool stuff, and these past few issues. The whole series has been really good. It's one that I definitely recommend for anybody who is just looking for good stuff to read. It's been strong from get-go till now. So definitely worth picking up. If you can't find the individual issues, I know starting with issue number 13 it gets a little bit tough because of the introduction of the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So check them out in trade if you can't get them in individual issues. But Thanos is really, really good comic, definitely worth picking up. Next we have Doomsday Clock number 3. Another really good series. This is coming out of DC. It's basically the introduction of the Watchmen into the actual full-out DC continuity. Really cool to see how they're doing everything. I like the way that the story's going so far. It's a 12-issue series, so it's still a long way to go. But so far they're doing a great job. Definitely worth picking up. Those you shouldn't have a problem finding because we're in the first quarter of the story. So if you're a fan of Watchmen and you kind of want to see what the future held after, or what the future holds after Watchmen, I mean, like, pretty far down the line, check out this book. It's pretty good stuff in there. Next we have a pretty fun book, I think. I mean, I know that this is one that's basically reintroducing the first family of Marvel, but it's really cool to have this title back, and I hope that they do really good things with this, and that is Marvel 2-in-1. So it's Thing and Human Torch. This is issue number 2, The Fate of the Four. So this is them bringing back the Fantastic Four into the Marvel Universe, or at least that's the way it seems. So hopefully, at the end of this, we'll end up getting the full team back together, and new adventures with the Fantastic Four. Basically, it seems like they're going that route because of the big merger that they did with Fox. What Disney did with Fox, buying up a lot of their properties and getting the rights back to some things that they didn't have before. So hopefully that means that the Fantastic Four are back in comics, and we can start reading those all over again. Next, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 794. These are always awesome titles. I mean, this is another one that's been really good, and it's so good that you have Alex Ross doing these covers. It does really awesome art, really nice naturalistic stuff. So I mean, definitely one that I'm looking forward to continuing reading. I know Dan Slott is closing up his run on Amazing Spider-Man, and I know that's kind of met with mixed reviews. Some people aren't big fans of what he's done with the Spider-Man universe, and then there's other people that love him. I think he's done a good job. I think I honestly have no problem with this series and what I've been reading. So hopefully the next person that takes over for him continues on doing some really good things. But definitely a good book to pick up. Definitely a fun read. And this is going to bring me to my last title of new books that I got, and that is Flash number 39. I picked up the regular cover. I didn't want to get the variant with the 700. But reintroducing Gorilla Grodd, he's back. So everybody knows Gorilla Grodd. Superhuman, super intelligent ape who basically wants to devolve all of human culture so he can basically turn them into his slaves and rule the universe. Kind of like a Planet of the Apes type scenario. Gorilla Grodd's a really cool villain. He's got some he's done some really messed up things over the time, and he's managed to subdue the Justice League a few different times on a couple different occasions. He's a cool villain. I like the fact that they're bringing him back. The Flash book is pretty cool because they're always like they've done well to like kind of reintroduce his rogues gallery one by one, not all at once, but just one by one, getting used to a few different characters at a time. As he goes through. So I'm not quite sure if this is going to lead to a big team up with the rogues gallery or what. But it's good to have them back. It's good to see how they're handling this new series with the whole DC rebirth and everything. All right, so now I'm going to get into some mail calls. And like I said before, I got a really, really awesome mail call, act of kindness, basically, from Mr. Unknown Comics guy. He had sent me a message asking me, because I had expressed, that I want to continue my G.I. Joe. And anybody who's been watching me for a while knows I'm trying to collect the first initial Marvel run of G.I. Joe. And so he asked me which books did I need, which ones that I didn't have yet, and I went ahead and gave him a list, and he said he had some doubles, so he sent me some stuff, and really, really awesome stuff that he sent me. So first off, we have issue number 4, really cool cover there. G.I. Joe in itself, it's funny because it wasn't a super expensive book. It's still not ultra expensive, unless you're getting the keys, or unless you're trying to get like the end of the run, because those are all like low print run books. But it's starting to gain a little bit of attention. It's gone from being pretty much dollar bin all day, where you can collect pretty much the entire series for $1 each, to now they're getting a little bit pricey because people, I think, now are starting to catch that nostalgia. I mean, everybody who is my age, we're getting older and everything, and it's just like, not that I'm super old, but it's just like one of those deals where it's just like, if you grew up watching it, maybe you want to have it, maybe it's just one of those things where they can kind of catch you yearning for your childhood again. So they've gotten a little bit more pricey. But next up we have issue number 12. Really cool cover. I like this one. You see the missile coming in. There's Gung Ho, Stalker, and Rock and Roll and Snake Eyes, I think it is. Actually, I don't think it's Rock and Roll. But they're all just, getting ready to jump off the boat so it doesn't get blown up. Then we have really cool cover. This is issue number 34. So you see, basically they're getting shot down by one of the Crimson guy, it looks like. But pretty cool cover right there. Then we have issue number 36, and I like this cover a lot just because, they used to do this every once in a while where it would seem like it was a painted cover. So, here we have, not quite just your regular, cover where they have just, just the normal, and just to kind of give an example. So, here's 34. Regular cover, just how they, and did it. Nice cover. And then they have this one where it looks like, it's an actual painting. So, really cool stuff. More detailed, I think. A little bit, I don't know. I think they put more time and effort into the colors in this one. But definitely really cool to have. Then we have issue number 47. Really cool stuff. You got Beachhead, General Hawk, and I can't think of this guy's name. This other guy. If you know him, let me know, because I'm sure I should know him, and it's just slipping my mind right now. Then we have issue number 74. So you see Duke battling Destro. The Baroness is kind of shocked. It looks like Duke may have shot Serpentor. And, Cobra Commander's checking on him, which is, really, that's kind of a funny cover, because anyone who's watched the cartoon knows that Serpentor and Cobra Commander did not get along, especially if you saw the movie, how, Serpentor kind of did him dirty and in Cobra La, and basically, like, turned him into a mutant and, took away his humanity. Definitely not, they were not friends in any way, shape, or form, but comic book and the cartoon are two different things. But that was those books. So again, Mr. Unknown Comic Guy, thank you very much. If you're not familiar with him, go ahead and check him out. he's super cool guy in the community, really funny guy. He makes a lot of really awesome and funny comments. So definitely check him out. Definitely worth it. He's an awesome member of the community. Next up, we have a book that I purchased. Actually, a couple books here that I purchased, and it's kind of funny because these ones are from a Facebook reply auction. I usually don't do these at all. I was actually kind of skeptical, so I said, let me try it and see what happens. And I ended up getting a pretty good deal. It's just, I guess it was books that other people weren't full out interested in, so I was able to, kind of score them for nothing. So we have Dazzla, issue number 1, and according to the, to the seller, this is the error variant. This has an error within it. I think it's like a color error. Love this cover. Really cool stuff with this. Has like a Saturday Night Fever vibe to it. So definitely a cool book to have. Next up, we have really awesome cover by Bill Sienkiewicz. This is New Mutants number 19. When Bill Sienkiewicz started taking over and doing these covers, he put some really awesome just concepts and stuff going on together. This one, I think, is going to follow closer to the movie with that demon bear that kind of just, stalks them throughout. I know that the movie is supposed to have more of a horror feel to it, so definitely kind of a fun one to have. And then next we have Moon Knight number 2. This is David Finch art on this one. Really cool stuff. And actually, one thing that kind of stands out to me is Charlie Houston. So this guy's a horror writer. I have one of the novels that he did. He does the Joe Pitt novels, Joe Pitt books. It's basically like a modernized vampire novel. A friend of mine had got it for me, and I just read it and everything. It was really good. It's pretty cool to see how people have the take on that. But I thought it was kind of funny to see that he had written this run. So not 100% sure if he did it justice or not, because I know Moon Knight's a really tough character to write for. He's had so many different iterations, so many different people taking over the helm and everything. But I have to give that a read and see what his take is on it. But basically the cover on this one is really beautiful. Everybody knows David Finch does awesome stuff. So definitely worth picking this one up, and because nobody else was into it, I was able to pick that up for $1. So no problem with that. Next up we have another book I caught in the mail. This was pretty good here. We have Deadpool limited series. This is the second limited series. The first one is the Circle Chase. This one came out after, and this is issue number 2. I think it's a 4-issue series. So I have issue number 1, it's away in one of my boxes, and then his issue number 2. Kind of cool, that they have this new miniseries. In the first one, Juggernaut was heavily featured in him and Black Tom Cassidy were basically the main bad guys throughout issues 2 and 3. So curious to see what happens in issue number 2 with the Juggernaut being there, as Black Tom back with them and all the rest of that type of stuff. I haven't, I've owned number 1 for a long time, but I never got around to getting the other ones. I guess kind of hesitated, and now because Deadpool's a hot property, I haven't been able to find them. So I was really excited when I saw that. And then to follow that up, we have another one here that's pretty cool. Just a good book to have, I think, and really cool issue, and that is The Thing number 1. Really awesome cover here. I like this cover a lot. I'm not sure who did this. Have to open it up and see, but really cool stuff. Really cool cover. I like how things featured right in the middle, and then the red and everything kind of just it looks really cool. It's a really awesome cover the way they did this. So really cool series to have, and definitely something that I don't know if I'll pick up the whole run, but if I can find them for cheap, why not? Because it'd be interesting to see what The Thing was up to in his own series. And then got a couple more books here to go, not too many more. So this one is actually, these next two are pretty cool to find. I got these for a good price, and on eBay, and I was able to basically upgrade one of my copies that I had already. So I already have this book, but I wanted to upgrade it just because my other one, it's a little bit beat up, so I figured I'd, go ahead and grab this one. So we have XMen 132. This continues on with the Burn Run, so this is more of the Hellfire Club story. The Hellfire Club story, I think, starts in issue number 129. That's the first time you meet Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde. And then, it continues. I think it takes one issue off in 130, because that's the first appearance of the Dazzla. And then in issue number 131, it picks back up again. Definitely, cool book. I'm trying to collect the Burn Run itself. Happy to, be able to pick these up when I can. I'm piecing it together slowly. I'm not, really trying to be aggressive on it. If I can get a good deal, I'll pick it up. But if not, then I kind of just, do what I do and hope for the best. But next up we have issue number 133. Now, this is a Wolverine solo story. He kind of basically, in 132, the X-Men get captured, and he's the only one that kind of, I don't want to say escapes, but he's the one that kind of evades them a little bit, and then he goes back in and tries to infiltrate and get them out. Really cool story. So if you have seen, I think Splash Page's last video, he had a book that kind of had the same thing going. Because initially I was like, oh, it's some spine roll on this, but it's actually not. Basically, if you look at the position of the staples here, so let me get this focused up a little better. So as you can see, there's staple here and staple here. And, so I went back in, because after watching this video, he was saying that he checked to see that it wasn't, like, restapled or something. And, if you look along the spine, and I'll show, so if you look along the spine, there's no staples on the spine. So it's not that it's rolled, it's not that it's been restapled, it's, I guess, a manufacturer error. Because I went to the centerfold and, checked it out and everything. So it's a manufacturer error where they basically, didn't do the stapling right, like, for whatever the machine just, I guess, stapled in the wrong spot. But it's perfectly fine, because, it doesn't, necessarily damage the book or anything like that. It just pretty much, it's their error, so it's not a problem for me, so works out. And again, complete book. A couple of color breaking ticks along the spine here, but nothing too crazy. Definitely a great book to have in my collection, so I can cross 2 more off of my Burn Run, and, be able to say safely that I'm getting pretty close to the end of it. I have a pretty good amount for now. I have basically from 131 to 138 all the way, and then 141 to 143, which is the end. So basically the second half of the Burn Run, I have. It's just that first half that I'm trying to piece together. And I've gotten a couple, but I hope to, kind of like just like piece together a little bit more. That would be a nice run to finish off, the Burn Claremont run. Alright, next we have a book that, again, I found an upgrade, and this one's actually in a lot better shape than the one I have. And that is X-Men 212. This is the first battle between Wolverine and Sabretooth. This is the Morlock storyline, where basically the Marauders come through and kill, basically, the Mutant Massacre, that's what it's called. The Mutant Massacre, where they, the Marauders with Sabretooth, go ahead and kill a bunch of the Morlocks. And it's funny, because that story, way later on down the line, it's revealed that Gambit was along with them, and he basically helped kill a bunch of the Morlocks. So, really cool story, and, awesome cover. It says round 1, has the blood splatter and everything like that. Wolverine's all torn up. Really cool stuff there. Alright, and last but not least, we have a book that I got, in an auction, and got it for a good price. And it's actually, for me, I'm happy with it, just because I like the fact that, this is first, or another oldest book of this character that I own. So we have, this is Green Lantern issue number 41. I love this cover because Star Sapphire beating up on the Green Lantern, and it's funny because these two have a really crazy history together. for everybody who doesn't know, so Star Sapphire, at least this one here that's on the cover, is Carol Ferris, who is basically Hal Jordan's girlfriend, and you know, or was at one point, and basically, like, you know, she's kind of like an obsessed, crazy girlfriend, and she just keeps coming after him because, you know, wants him to like love her, and he's kind of like, no, I you know, he for whatever reason, you know, can't be with her because he's a lantern and everything like that. But this nice Silver Age book right here. As you can see at the top, there's a little bit of discoloration and everything, and there's definitely some spine ticks and stuff, but not a bad book. And it's my oldest Green Lantern now, so definitely happy to have. I'd love to go back and collect some of those old Silver Age Green Lanterns and just kind of piece together that run, but you know, it's not going to be cheap. It is not something that you can just do overnight because some of those books are pricey. You know, you get some really cool characters like Sinestro, Star Sapphire, you know, and then just introduction to some other lanterns and stuff like that. That, you know, you have to look through Tom Ray and, you know, all those guys. But definitely some fun stuff. So really, honestly, again, to Miss Unknown Comics Guy, thank you so much. It's been, you know, just an awesome just gesture and an awesome gift to have you, you know, send me those books. So thank you again. I want to thank everybody for watching, and you know, stay tuned because I have a bunch more books that I picked up from my sale that I'm gonna go ahead and show off. I might have to show that in 2 parts because it's a pretty hefty amount of books. But you know, I hope that, you know, everybody has, you know, themselves a great you know, beginning of the week, because we are only in the beginning of this week. So everybody have a good week. I will see you guys this Thursday for the Comic Conversation over on JLS's channel. So tune in for that at 8:30. And again, thank you for watching. This has been Boston Chris. I'm out. Everybody have a good night.